doing, good people? This is the 8-Bit Animal. Okay, so today's game is all about fighting terror. You know, that's been a really big thing in video games over the last decade or so. First-person shooters, tactical shooters, pretty much anything with Tom Clancy's name on it have been incredibly popular and wildly successful. Look at Call of Duty, look at Battlefield. You know, military-based tactical shooters have been all the rage. Well, today's game is probably the granddaddy of all of those games. It was published by Kemco-Seika in 1989, but it's a port of a well-regarded shooter from the good folks at Infogrames. Infogrames is the same people who bought Atari in somewhere in the late 90s, early 2000s. So they've been around for a while. And as this game shows, they were pretty solid prior to acquiring Atari. Today's game is Rescue, the Embassy Mission. Okay, so in Rescue, the Embassy Mission, you are tasked with leading a team of 6 operatives into an embassy building that's been taken by terrorists and rescuing the hostages. Now, you do this in 3 parts. Now, on some of the PC versions, there were only 2 parts to the game. In the NES version, there are 3 parts. Firstly, you have to guide your snipers into position, all while avoiding searchlights and enemy fire. So you do that by dodging, ducking unders, crawling under, rolling past, and hopping behind barriers to avoid searchlights. Once you get your snipers into position, they go to work shooting out windows, taking out any terrorists that pop up by the windows. You never have to really worry about any of the hostages being at the windows, though. So that makes it pretty easy. Finally, you send you send one of your soldiers that are on the roof down the side of the building and through a window that you may have shot out at some point earlier in the game during the sniper portions. Once inside, the game kind of switches to a first-person view in a way. It's pretty much behind the back of your soldier with his gun exposed, so it's pretty much a first-person shooter. And you take out the remaining hostage takers, terrorists that are in the building. A skilled player can actually beat this entire game in about 10 minutes because they only put the one mission in the game. And that's probably the thing that makes this game not stand out as much as it should. That and the fact that it was published by Kemco-Seika. Kemco-Seika is most known for some pretty bad games like the Snoopy Silly Sports Spectacular, or incredibly unforgiving games like Shadowgate. Everyone remembers Shadowgate. You die all the time in that game. But, you know, minus its shortfalls, you know, most notably the length and some pretty tough controls and points. Rescue is a pretty solid game. It's pretty realistic in that you have, like, your sniper can sometimes shake. His gun shakes. You have to make sure that there's an open plane of view for your soldier to rappel into a building. Things like that. So yeah, Rescue the Embassy Mission is a pretty well done game, and you should definitely pick up a copy. It's an incredibly plentiful game. It's pretty much everywhere at this point. You can find a copy for a few bucks. I would definitely recommend picking it. It's one of the better tactical games that I've ever played, and that says a lot considering that it's such an early entry into that genre. This has been the 8-Bit Animal. I'll catch you beautiful people tomorrow.